Alright everyone, I am back, and we're going to hop into some Divide quests now. Before that though, I do need to hit the Alliance quarters so I can grab the tree. And with that, I also want to grab a couple of more things from my bank here. I want to grab... I believe it's the shortcake that I need. And, hey Juan, yeah, summer is, still a few months away at this point here. And I'm also gonna grab some stir-fry as well. Alright, so let's go to quest, divide quest, and we're gonna do stages 26 to 30. Let's grab a shift to drink CX. And let's head on down. So what I want to do is I do want to try to start off with a boss fight if I can. So I'm gonna try to go through a few restarts here to see if I can luck into that. Nope. Boss fights are typically the stage I prefer to go for. Still no luck here. I'll give it one more try, and then if it's no good, then we'll just proceed on. Okay, here we go. So on the life route, we go to Tokyo. And here we got the Rix's Ghidorah.
Commencing operation. I'll direct you. Defeat them, quickly! I'm giving up too easy.
Up in the next, there they are. Was waiting on the next round of helicopters to come out so I could start to attack them. There we go. Since I'm a solo player, I have to rely on getting these boosts. to get most of my DPS out. Alright, there's another group of them over there.
Preparing to fully mobilize for an assault operation on Mothership Shiva. All ARC's operatives should prepare for deployment immediately.
Alright, there's the A rank. S rank. And down.
Completed.
Alright, so up next, I think I'm gonna go with the eradication ops here. I will say that this isn't my favorite, but
Defeat as many enemies as you can.
I should still be able to do fairly decently here, even if I don't get an S.
Emergency. Code. Attack.
We need to bring the boss over to here. There we go, there's B rank. Or close to B rank, anyway. Now that's a shame. I want to try to get the explosion if you can. Alright, back over to here. Alright, Ragna, come on over. There you go, big leap. And down you go.
Roughly half of them. Don't let up.
Ah, we didn't get the combo going. That's gonna suck. And it's still not going. There it goes, finally. Alright, I'll take an A rank on that.
Completed.
Fortunately, the configuration of the enemies in this area is not that good. Alright, so this one is East Quinto Plains. It is against a boss, so I will take that. It's against Pregnia.
Commencing operation. I'll direct you.
Emergency.
Reinforcement
Code.
sighted. Defeat it. Quickly. I'm giving up to me.
Alright, there's the extra target here. Let's take it out as quickly as we can. There we go.
More enemies incoming. There are lots of time. Take care not to let down your guard.
Let's get them down as quickly as we can. There goes two. There go another two. Alright, she's on to this phase. So we'll finish with plenty of time, but I am noticing I'm running a little bit lower on mates than I typically do at this point. That might cause problems later. Alright, there we go.
Completed.
Alright, I have to take the life route because the resupply is just such a... It's never good to do that alone.
Please defeat as many enemies as you can.
Let's grab this Orc Brand, bring it over to these mechs here. There we go. There goes a chain. I did not mean to take that one out that quickly. Come on. Come over here. Thank you. There we go. So that's the A rank. Come on, I don't want an A rank here. Alright, we got the S. I'll take it.
Your time is up. Well done.
Emergency. Code. Completed.
GM Custom, thank you so much for the raid. The raid of 56, oh my goodness. That is a lot of people right there compared to my normal viewership. How was your stream here today? Alright, so, looks like, it went well. It was definitely a good weekend for certain. Let's see, so for this one, player HP recovery minus 50%, minus 50%. That is going to be a, that's gonna potentially be problematic here, so I gotta kind of be careful of this here. But I'll go ahead and kick this off. I've got a full set of Trimates, so that's at least going to help me out here. But if this is the combination of Varuna and Mitra, that could potentially be problematic here. With such a handicap on this, but we'll see.
Great job making it this far. You've reached the final battle. Remember, just because it's VR doesn't mean it's a game.
Yeah, I'm trying to get myself unlocked on stages 31 to 35 here, so I seem to be on track for this one, but it's going to come down to this last stage here.
The timer
That looks like Verona and Mitra.
The end is nigh.
Prepare yourself. All who oppose my master shall perish. How long do you plan to keep up this farce?
Take this!
Your Majesty, go! You!
First, we gotta break Mitra's shield.
The time for discretion is at an end.
This way. I have no more time
Take
to
this!
waste.
This is the end!
And as you can tell, I'm using the same photon art over and over. The build I'm using kind of emphasizes doing that, actually.
This ends here!
Because of
All who oppose my
the
master
combination of Etoile as well as the S4 that I've got here.
How long do you plan to keep up this farce?
Alright, I am about on track where I need to be in terms of damage.
This is the end!
But Mitra is going a little bit crazier than normal with their attacks.
This way.
This ends here!
There's the A rank.
The time for discretion is at an end!
No more time to waste here.
I may not have my full array of powers, but you'd be unwise to underestimate me. This ends here! This ends here!
This way.
This is the end!
Alright, there's the S rank. I've still got plenty of time to finish them off.
How long do
Take
you plan
this!
to keep up this farce?
This is the end! This ends here!
Alright, there goes Mitra. Now, Verona,
To waste here.
you get Imperial Cleave.
There'll be no escape.
Let's finish you off.
This way. Swing and a miss. Swing and a miss. Swing and a
Alright, my
miss.
Trimates are gone. All I got left are Star Atomizers, but it doesn't matter. I'm good.
Nice going.
Completed!
Wow,
Alright, let's scoop all this up.
you did it. Nice going. My sister is scrambling to implement that secret weapon. She wants my help too.
Alright, I just got a bunch of mails from her for the Divide Quest points for the week. Let me go ahead and pick those up. Alright. Now, did that do it, is the question. Yes, 31 to 35 are unlocked. Alright. Now, I still need Darkstone Daimos, so I'm gonna hop into Face of the Abyss real quick here. And then after that, we will start into stage 31 to 35 of Divide Quest.
This is the final battle. All ARC's operatives, please report to the quest counter for deployment.
As just a quick little explanation of the build I'm using here, I've got a Lightweaver Klaus. This has Precision Will, and Precision Wills as its S1, 2, and 3. That all increases critical damage. S4 is Goliath Slayer Lucent, which gives me 40 photon points every 10 seconds. Plus Flash Guard Unleashed, which causes the sword to change how it acts once you do a perfect guard. It has Phrase Decay, Guardian Soul, and Grand Might. Combine that with the fact that I'm a Hunter Etoile, and effectively using same arts, which is basically reduces how much photon point costs for each successive use of a photon art. That causes me to get into a situation when I'm fighting a boss where I can just keep using the same photon art over and over and over and never run out of photon points. And that's why this build is so powerful. It basically turns the build into a one-button fighter that just constantly does max damage. Units are not... I don't have, like, the best augments, but I'm calling this good enough for the end for me here. S6 Guardian Shield, S7 Medicinal Potentiation to increase how much mates heal me when I'm using them through automate. And then, of course, Skydance support. But the units in total give me an extra 1,050 melee from what I've seen here. Because they've got other attack values on top of them. So it's a really good combo that I've got here. Let me see. It doesn't look like anybody threw out a party beacon, so I'll go ahead and throw one out for myself. And it doesn't look like anybody wants to do it, so I guess we'll just go ahead and get things started here then.
Look at this. I can feel all these hopes.
Anyway, I hope everybody's having a great evening here. It's been a long time. We're basically almost at complete parity with the Japanese servers at this point. We're still missing a couple of things. We're missing the third challenge mode mission, which is technically the fourth one. The third one was technically this time attack one that was introduced on the challenge servers for a live event over in Japan. But the third or fourth one, however you want to call it, that's still on the way. And then, of course, we got the ultimate solo quest coming, hopefully, which is going to be against Sodam again. And then there's some more content coming from the Japanese side. In like a week and a half, we're going to have Arcship Fire Swirl finally on the global servers. We're pretty much almost at complete parity with the Japanese servers at this point. The only thing is, there's still some content that never got released on the global side. We never got like the border break stuff. We never got the Final Fantasy XIV content that was brought over. That being the Odin fight. And things like that. Alright, phase 1 is done.
That really did some damage. Keep it up. You've got this.
Alright, watch what he does. And we are headed to the right. Alright, here comes the black wave attack. Alright, he's going to punch in a moment with that. And we are headed over here to the left.
Look out! Get out of the way!
And once again, they are going to punch. moving to the left, it looks like. He's about to smash one of the platforms over there. Don't really have a good place to attack from here. Gotta go. And we gotta stay right here. And then we got the other side we need to get to. Oh, I'm trying to get my boosters going at the same time here. There we go. Alright, on to the third phase.
Our attacks are working. That means we can do this. Don't let up. We're almost there.
Now I'm hanging on to my Imperial Cleave here until we get inside the next portion of the fight. Because what I like to do is I like to unload it immediately as soon as the fight starts, so I can make sure I establish aggro on the next boss. Alright, down goes that one. Let's hop down into the edge. This place, of course, being a huge reference to Phantasy Star End of the Millennium, and where you fought the profound darkness in that game.
The time for words has passed. All I can do now is be thankful for being able to fight together until the very end.
I don't want to live in a world without you. No way. No. We're going back home. Together. No, I won't lose any of you. We're all going to the new world. Together.
Alright, so damn, let's dance. That's a shame. I didn't get all the damage off I wanted. But I do have aggro, so that's at least a good sign here. Shifting areas.
Time to finish this.
Gotta hide behind the ice. And we are transitioning to the fire area.
It's about to get serious.
All right,
Don't
next
let your guard
phase.
down. Not even for a second.
Let's see this through.
All right, here come those tornadoes. Shorizo, the biggest thing I could recommend to you right now, because we're probably not going to have this again for a really long time, is whatever units you decide to settle on, you want to get them up to an 8th slot at this point. And that's regardless if you go with the Clouds units or something that's lesser quality than that. You want to get it up to 8 slots, and the reason for that is there is a huge boost going on right now that basically makes it so that If you had an augment that was 30% before chance to succeed, it's now 50%. It's a 20% boost. You really want to be able to take advantage of it during this period. You've only got about a week and a half on it left. And so whatever you decide to use, you want to make it, you want to decide quickly and basically dedicate yourself to that. There are plenty of missions going on right now that give you great drops that are going to help you put together what you want. But certainly if you're able to get into, say, Cradle of Darkness, there's a lot of units that are dropping from that that are 12, and I think I saw some 13-star units in there as well. But it's or not 12-star, I think it's actually all 13-star units that are dropping in there. But this is really the time that you want to dedicate yourself to putting together what units you're going to use. And I can go over again what I've got on my units once we get out of here. They're not the strongest units, but they serve the purpose of what I need them to do. Also, hey, it's Etoile power. I can basically run into there and just knock off all the gold on his hand immediately. Shouldn't be more than a few minutes here to get out of here. But yeah, units are one of the important things. Having a good weapon is also important at this point. So the good thing about this time right now is also any enhancements or augments that you do right now, they are free during this event. And you don't need to worry too much about the... So you don't have to worry about how much it's going to cost to affix things. Rather, as long as you're running the latest content and you're able to get yourself some decent drops, you really don't have to like buy anything off of the market right now. Now, you said that you're new, so I'm not expecting that you're going to have anything too fancy. But there is some other stuff that can help you at least get some decent units. For example, if you were to run Persona in its urgent quest, then that would give you access to Apprentice Soul and Persona Reverie, which would give you 80 attack flat right there. But once you get outside of this the current period that's running, that's when the prices in the shops increase back to what they typically are from the NPCs. So right now is really the time you want to be doing things. Now, again, since you are new, you're also not going to have the advantage of some of the other stuff that's come out since the game launch, like having like tons of mission badges to say get the different really powerful augments on there, like Mana Reverie, Yamato Factor, and things like that. You can certainly still put it together, but it's going to take time to get it put together. Ooh, just after my Imperial Cleave went off. Or just before, rather. Yeah, Cloud's units are really good in that each one of them gives you some really good stats built into them that are not as good on other units. So, for instance, if you get the back class unit, it has a built-in 120 attack in there. If you get the arm unit, I think that one has some higher defense rates. And then the leg unit, I believe, comes with a bunch of extra photon points to make sure you don't run out as often in battle. But just taking a look at what we got here. So we did get a solid barrier 7 slot with that fight. This one came with stamina 3, Exegol Glare. So this one would give you more defenses. And I mean, if you were running a whole bunch of divide quests, I would say if you wanted to really push yourself and be able to, like, solo divide quests, I would say, and this is partially going to depend upon the weapon that you're using as well. Are you a sword main, or are you a wired lance or a partisan main? Sword, okay. So then you can kind of just follow the example I have here. Granted, I don't know if you're going to be able to put together a Guardian Soul, because that combines a whole bunch of stuff together. Given you're a newer player, you may not have all the resources to really put this together. Grin might also be outside of your range, but if you were to, say, get a Graceful Might, and then maybe an Apprentice Soul or a Persona Reverie onto the sword, and then you found a Basilisk weapon which has Phrase Decay on it, that increases damage to enemies with Gelin applied by 5%, and you can apply Gelin. If we go under the class skills here, with the ability Warcry here, this draws an enemy's attention to you. Combine that with War Attract, that basically gives Warcry the ability to inflict Gelin on an enemy. There, you're doing already an extra 5% damage on top of anything that you were doing previously. So getting Gelin onto a weapon would be highly recommended. It may not be necessarily the strongest thing for when New Genesis comes out, but it'll serve you well as you're still getting used to PSO2 base here.
Feel free to stop.
In terms of what I've got on my units here, some of this stuff is sort of put together with some more unusual things, like, for instance, the back here. I've got Grand Might, which gives me 60 melee. I've got Apprentice Soul and Elder Reverie, and you can kind of interchange Persona Reverie with Elder Reverie if the drop happens that way. And then I've got Might 5, Sentence Might, and Doombreak 2. And I really wasn't interested in pushing things too much higher here, but I would say just as a starting point to get yourself higher than what most players would be at, I would say start with maybe around a 180 or so melee power. And then if you can get it with some photon point boosts on there as well. The other question I have for you is, are you in an alliance currently? You are. Okay. So the thing that's sort of also important if you want to be able to solo content with divide quests, the other thing that you want to make sure you have access to is you want to have the attack up buff here, especially if you've got it at level 8, because that increases damage by 20%. And that's going to be an even bigger boost. Now, some of this stuff is multiplicative on top of other things. I don't know exactly how all the math works, but I basically take this buff, I take the Attack ZX buff from the drink, I have, of course, my units and my sword. The rings I'm using, I have Atomizer Fanatic as one left ring, and then Critical Strike Melee. The 3 other rings I use are, if I come over here, Hunter Focus Preservation, Mate Maniac, and Perfect Guard Counter. So what I did is basically I transferred a 7-slot Chevelle onto an 8-slot Klaus here, and I basically used one of the add functions. Let me bring up an example here. Let's see. Where did I put them? Here we go. So, like, fix augment melee. Granted, this is only 25 here, but I'm just using it as an example. If you, what you can do as part of transferring affixes over is, or rather, when you're building affixes together, you can actually get an 8th slot out of something like this if you don't have access to 8-slot units already as you're transferring over to what you're going to have as the final unit, essentially, where you're combining the 5 units onto the base. You can fill out the last slot with something like this if you need to. But 8 slots is really kind of the end goal that you should be going for right now with the event that's going on, even if it's not the strongest unit. Because eventually, over time, with all the boosts that are currently going on, and I'm sure there are going to be more boosts going on until New Genesis happens, you're going to be able to pick up augment transfer passes just by leveling up your characters to level 100 and then over-leveling them. Earlier in the show, that's basically what I did. I basically took 3 7-slot units and transferred everything onto the 3 Klaus units that I have at 8 slots. Now, those do require augment transfer passes if you want to transfer them directly like that. And for an 8 slot, that would require 100 of those. But if you're doing affix augments, then it's more or less you kind of grab the weapon that you want to put things onto. Let's see, that's a bad example here. Let me actually just grab a bunch of stuff here and just throw something together real quick. Yeah, Klaus units are the best thing that you can get right now. And you're going to be getting drops from Divide Quest that will give you some of the 8 slots that you need. Let's see here. Let me grab this Awake Strider, and then I'm just going to try to find some stuff here real quick. Let's grab that one. Grab this one, this one.
What do you need?
So, I would say, if you can't do it right now, then go for a 6-slot Chevelle or something like that. And the reason is, on the Klaus unit, you can have an S-grade augment on there, and that allows you to fill up one of the slots, regardless of anything else. So, for example, before I did my transfer, I put an S8 Skydance support on, and that meant the unit that I had to transfer from only needed to have 6 of the slots filled, and then I filled the 7th slot then with an augment, an add augment, which shows up in the menu when you use that. So,
What do you need?
for instance, if I just wanted to transfer like this, you can see here, I have an add S1 Guardian Shield in my inventory right now, so that would then become the seventh slot here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But if you're just trying to throw things together at this point, then what you would do is you would grab whatever you can find and just see what you're able to make of it. So I'm just going to throw all these together here. I'm not going to add an S1 yet, but you can get pretty far. Like, for instance, I came up with a Might 4 here. You can get a Mastery 3 at 100% with what I had in there. Spirit 3 gives you 4 photon points. You can get some glares in here. In this particular case, I would recommend like a Melee 30. And then for a more unique build, if you were ever taking more damage than you wanted, then you could add in some resistances as well. But again, you're a hunter at 12, so that might not necessarily be necessary for you. You can also get like Mutation 2 in there, Stamina 3. Let's see, Deafness isn't as important anymore. But this just kind of gives you an idea. Augments is sometimes just sort of looking at what you've got and just kind of smashing things together until you find something that actually does work. Of course, the other option is if you do luck into getting some unique rares that you can sell on the market, then of course, then you can then take a look at the market and see what you can come up with that's just simply being sold on the market. Like, for instance, if we go product search right now, and let's say we're looking at units, not going to set a subcategory, we set it to 6 augments, and we set a minimum price of, let's say, 40 million to start. And then we set this to number 3, and we can start to then scroll through the list until we find something that's decent. Like, right here, here's a 42 million Trailblazer Mount Luxion. That gives you 185 right now. If you went range, actually this is a decent price for range right here, 230. And it's got room for someone to say put on a Yamato Factor. Yeah, Yamato Factor is the one that you would put on in this particular case, since Soul, Reverie are already done, and there's even a glare on there currently. Oh, Rooks, I am so sorry to hear you went through that. 40 minutes Primordial Darkness. That is way too long. So, but to kind of finish up here, Shorizo, it kind of comes down to what you're capable of. It's really going to be more, if you want to do something right now, then you do want to see what you can do to try to get at least the 8th slot ready to go, even if you don't transfer things onto there right now. Like, if you're not ready to transfer things on, but you can at least get the unit to 8th slot, then you're not going to have to fight the system later on when the augment rates are less. If you can't fill all the slots when transferring, really you don't want to be caught in that kind of situation, because I don't think it even lets you transfer at that point. Let's see, what else is on the market currently? At 52 million, there's 205 melee power, and then if you add on, if you add on a Yamato Factor, that'll give you another 30, or not Yamato Factor, Aether Factor is what I mean. And then, is there anything else here? Part of it is that, from what I've noticed, there aren't too many that really push the boundaries of augments on Ship 1 here. This one is actually fairly decent, but the price is just so exorbitant that I would never buy that. Correct. Yes, that's exactly right. And then the last slot would then be like your S6, your S7, or your S8. And that one you put onto the unit before you even start the transfer. And the way that you get your augment transfer passes, if you go down that path, is you can get some through titles, you can get some through events, and in fact, there's one going on, I think right now, that if you clear the Easter quest, I think it was 12 times, you get a total of 25 of them, 20 from just clearing and getting the reward, and then 5 from running the rainbow key. And then the other way you can get augment transfer passes is through the limited class X Cube exchange shop, and you can get 10 per month from Hunter Ranger Force class X cubes, 10 from Fighter Gunner Techer class X cubes, 10 from Braver Bouncer Summoner class X cubes, and then another 10 from Hero Phantom Etoile Lester class X cubes. It is. It's partly because a lot of the systems are in place now. This is an 8-year game at this point. It really is one of the more complicated games. Once you understand how it works, it just clicks instantly, but it does take a while to understand it. And even for me, I really didn't get into a fixing until about a year or two ago. Before that, I was just sort of running around with what I had. But definitely a fixing is something that, now that we're sort of at the end game of this game, it is something you do at least need to put a little bit of effort into to really be able to perform. But I would say 180 would at least put you above most of the players on the global servers. And what I'll also say is, if you're transferring to a lower number of slots in the unit, it's going to cost you less. The big one, the 8-slot transfer, though, does cost 100 augment transfer passes. Unfortunately, you're kind of popping into this towards the end of things here. Something else that can help you, potentially, during, Divide quests, is if you're not having your drink yet, of course, have the drink, but then you can also get other items that can help to augment you a little bit here. If you were to put together Stir Fry here, that grants, 100 melee range and tech power, and 50 HP for 30 minutes, and then there's also Shortcake, which will give you another 30 attack power for melee for 30 minutes. So that can help to augment you a little bit in that. And then, of course, the other thing to consider is also look to your Alliance members. They can also help you run Divide quests if you're struggling. They might be able to carry you somewhat up the ladder until at least you get to the higher stages, where you're starting to get some of the better rewards from Divide quests. But the other thing I do want to recommend is getting the rings that I have on here. Hunter Focus makes it so that you don't lose your focus, or rather your gear, as that decreases as fast. Maniac, as I said before, increases how much HP mates restore to you. Perfect Guard Counter basically makes it so that whenever you send out that Sonic Arrow from doing a guard, if that's at level 20, then it costs nothing to do that, in terms of photon points. Yeah, just try, look at what you've got in your bank already, and just start to kind of piece together, like, figure out which pieces allow you to put together, like, a Might 4. And then, whatever doesn't let you do that, swap those pieces out, see if it's able to put something else in. And just kind of cobble something together, at least. See see if maybe at least you can get yourself to like a 120 to start with, and then from there build yourself up to 180, and then really go for something high-end after that. 120 should at least be somewhat feasible to reach. And most units coming out right now, let's see. If we go over to Zig real quick,
What's the good word?
and we go under his units, we can see that they come with only plus 35, so that would already put you way above what Zig gives you with these units.
Aye.
Okay, glad I was able to help you out there. Right, you can either... it either needs to be the same as what the base unit is, or it needs to be above that. Correct, Captain Radix, yeah. S-grade augment transfers, those just transfer over. You just pay for it, and it transfers over. There's no need for transfer passes. It's just if you're moving the rest of the augments over, that's when you need them. Alright, I've got about 51 minutes left here, so I do want to try to go ahead and run the divide 31 to 35 here real quick, at least once, and see how I do. So they do take a slot. S-grade do take a slot. So for instance, the unit I've got here, it has the S6 plus 7 regular slots in play. And you can't go above 8. 8 is the maximum. Discs do drop, but the easier way to get them at this point is to just just to exchange regular X cubes. For them, they are 20 a pop, and you can get the discs at the X cube exchanger on the second floor of the shopping center. And thank you for the follow there, Shorizo. Alright, let me head on down. And I am going to go for the boss in this particular case. Let's see how I do here.
Commencing operation.
Oh, somebody else is already in here. I was hoping to do this alone. We'll see how this goes.
Your Majesty, code due.
Yep, I have so damn first here. And I don't see the extra targets coming out here. Ah, that's a shame. He leaped out of the way. Nice, knocked him out of that phase. Ah, not quite. Yeah, next time I'm gonna double check to make sure I'm alone.
Completed.
Let's see. What do we have next? Gotta go with the eradication op. And they're in here too. There goes the chain. What's hard to watch, Radix? Ah, gotcha. Yeah, I jumped into that one when they were already, 50 seconds into it, so it really wasn't a good match there. I probably could have made the kill if I had been there from the start. Here we go. Alright, got the S rank for this one. Alright, looks like we got plenty of time for this one now. Alright, S rank.
Completed.
I would say let's go against the apprentice here. Or no, it's double.
I'll direct you.
And they're in here too. Wow, we are of one mind, apparently, on the path we're taking.
Your Majesty, code due.
I'm giving up Toonie.
Fortunately, Gemini never did like to stand around.
There are lots of targets. Take care not to let down your guard.
Alright, there's the A rank. Got a good shot at finishing them off. There we go. Alright, actually, I guess we're doing pretty good as a team here then.
Completed.
Oh, let's see. I think I'm gonna go Amduskia.
Disable as many virtual devices as you can. You can withdraw whenever you wish.
Yeah, since crystals are not emphasized this time, I have to go for taking out enemies. Unfortunately, I am not seeing the enemies I need just yet. Hey, Retry, how you doing today? What is that? Ah, gotcha. Here's one of the ones I need.
A virtual device has appeared. Please disable it. Virtual device disabled. Keep it up.
Alright, we got Acid Rain already. I don't know if I can get out of the B range. And, yeah, no kidding about that one. It's more or less a thing of there isn't enough time in the day to go through everything that you want to play. Plus, there's this constant nagging issue of the fact that you have to go to sleep every now and then.
You are in danger.
Alright, that's it. I gotta get out of here.
I've activated an extraction telepipe.
I took it as far as I could.
Additional rewards for your efforts.
I'm guessing that other player may have already shifted over to their encounter. Alright. So this is my first time in this particular set of stages, so I don't know what I'm up against here. But I got plenty of mates for whatever it is, so let's kick this off.
Oh, wow. I didn't think you'd actually make it to the final stage. My sister insisted on handling the last boss, so she created it all by herself. She was laughing her head off like, whatever, no one's gonna make it this far. Anyway, good luck.
Hear me, world, for I shall bring about your end.
Ah, Shiva!
I will
Commencing
not
operation.
suffer you
I'll
to
direct you.
Emergency code due.
take this. This is hardly worth my time. There will be no mercy. You cling to life with most unbecoming desperation. ends here.
Yeah, I can already tell that my output is just not enough here. Might be able to get her up to an A rank, though.
There will be no mercy. This is hardly worth my time. Cling to life with most unbecoming desperation. You cling to life with most unbecoming desperation. Be as an offering unto me. This is hardly worth my time.
Alright, got her to A rank. S rank is gonna be a push, but maybe.
I am simply correcting history. I will not suffer you to. I hope that you will provide me with amusement. Take this!
Alright, I was a little short of S rank there, but that's fine.
Completed.
Alright, so total rank of A. I'd say not bad for a first attempt. I would have had no problem if she would have, you know, hold still for a while there. That's one thing for certain. If she just has me chasing her around all the time, that definitely becomes a problem. Now, did I get any titles for clearing this?
Welcome.
Dreamwalker and Transcender of the Divided World. So... okay, Dreamwalker is for clearing mop-up Operation Endless Nightmare on Ultra Hard with an S rank. And that gives me 10 Augment Transfer Passes. And then... clear step 35, so you get a 3 Lumen Crystal Grania, actually.
Thank you very much.
So yeah, still a decent reward, even though I didn't get an S rank on that. Obviously, I still got some work to do on this, but I don't think I'm that far off of it. I think part of it just came down to stage luck. If I had not been forced into one of those operations that required me to look for crystals and take out enemies, I think I would have potentially ended up with the S rank, even without getting the Shiva kill. But I think that's pretty much it. We went through the Easter urgent quest, we went through Cradle of Darkness, we went through Drawn to Darkness, we went through the whole sequence with the PSO characters that have appeared on the ships. And we went through the new Divide stages. Let me just double check and make sure there's nothing else new here. And of course we went through the Primordial Darkness twice as well. Let's see here. Yeah, it looks like that's it. Obviously, I still have several more runs to do of mop-up operations, so I can max out the bonus on that. I want to get that up to 200%. Plus, I want to get the Power Stone Gray as well. Run that 12 times to get that. And then there is a good chance we're getting Arc Ship Fire Swirl in a week and a half. And in fact, actually that is confirmed on the calendar here. Starting the week of the 14th, they're calling it Swirling Inferno on the Arc Ship, but really it should be Arc Ship Fire Swirl, in memory of the original Phantasy Star Online name, Central Dome Fire Swirl. So, yeah, it's we got that coming up in a couple of weeks. Hopefully with that, we'll also finally get the new Ultimate Solo against Profound Darkness Sodam, as well as the third challenge mission, and at that point, that would basically put us at parity with the Japanese server. Aside from the content that just is simply never going to be released here on Global. But it's, yeah, there's still content coming, but the other question is, when are they going to say something about the Global closed beta test? And Retry, thank you for the gift sub to Wolfric there. Yeah, there's stuff coming. The fact they haven't said anything about the global closed beta just yet here tells me that maybe we're looking at that for the week of, I don't know, maybe the week, or rather the weekend of the 23rd, the 24th, and 25th. That's just a guess, though. I don't know if that's going to be correct or not. But yeah, that pretty much covers everything that has come out since the Profound, or rather the Primordial Darkness came out, and then with the updates that came out this week. Once again, let me emphasize, get out there, get your augments done, because we are probably not going to see another 20% boost like this ever again, if not for quite some time, here on Global. So, do it now, or regret later. Alright, and so with that, I'm going to go ahead and start to close things off. If you did enjoy today's show, of course, do make sure to give me a follow here so you can keep up with the show. Aside from Phantasy Star Online 2, I also do plan to get into other Phantasy Star content. I need to get back to Etoile Phantasy Star Saga, but from time to time I've also I have ongoing series for Phantasy Star Online. I have an ongoing series for Phantasy Star Zero. Phantasy Star Universe Ambition of the Illuminus is also something I'm working on. So just give me a follow if you want to keep up with me. Otherwise, let's see if I can figure out who I can send you all over to here and keep this raid train going here. Let's see. So who is currently online? Not immediately recognizing any names. Alright, I've never seen this player before, but I'm going to send you over to Chris 1. Let me get that into the system here. And with all that said, thank you for joining me today. This is PrinceBrightstar signing off. Let's get this raid started here.